Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Mr. Adelini. I just want to welcome you to West Ranch's virtual back to school night. And what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about one of the classes that I teach. It's called the Basic American Government. So let's go ahead and get started here. So there's my email address, adelini@heartdistrict.org, in case you need to get a hold of me. And so let's talk a bit about this class here. In this course, students will engage in an in-depth, standards-based study of the governmental system of the U.S. and other nations. We'll focus on the U.S. Constitution, the basic civic values of American constitutional democracy, as well as the various roles, rights, and responsibilities of citizenship, including different ways citizens can participate, for example, voting and volunteering. And we really, it's our hope that, we help students become more aware of the governmental policies and practices that affect their lives in the U.S. And, what a time to be taking a class like Basic American Government, with this being a presidential election year. A lot of interesting things are going on. So, all right, moving on to class expectations and policies. Here's the bell schedule. I know it's probably a little bit too small for you to read there, and you can actually download this from the West Ranch website. I think it's on the left-hand side of our homepage. So this, more or less covers the times and the days that all the classes meet. And I would pay particular attention to the Wednesday schedule. It's a little dicey. We've got, 6 classes, back to back to back, and can get a little confusing. So really just make sure that your student is well aware of, when all these, when all their classes meet. So there's that. Moving on here. This is new to distance learning for fall 2020. Students are required, as you probably know, to check in live with teachers every day, every period. So attendance is required, and teachers take it, each period. And certainly, if your student can't check in, if they can't attend, on any particular day, make sure that just like if it was face-to-face school, make sure that you call in the absence. Okay. So in-class assignments and homework will have due dates, and so make sure that your student is staying organized using some sort of calendar or other sort of work management system, so they're well aware of when assignments are due. Now, this year we have what we call the afternoon flex time, and it appears in the schedule as the 8th period, and that was really put into place to help students by allowing them to, if needed, to meet virtually with students for support and intervention. Okay, just moving on here. Positive digital citizenship. Okay, students need to be on their best behavior during our online sessions. They need to practice positive digital citizenship, and district and school rules and regulations are still in effect during distance learning. And so, all this really means is that students need to be, respectful, professional, and courteous, just like we ask of them, in face-to-face class. Students can't record any online instructions because that does violate Education Code 51512, to be very specific there. And so I guess it's just good to remember that while a student might be at home, they're still part of the school learning environment, and so they need to act appropriately. So just moving on here, there are several handouts that I think at one point or another, I think either our district home office has sent out to parents, and they're actually on my website as well. And I'm speaking in particular of how to be a successful student in online learning, teacher success in online learning, and parent support for success in online learning. These are all really good reads, and it really gives you kind of a sense of how you can, really help your student succeed in this, online setting, which, it ain't easy, a lot of the time. It can be a bit of a challenge. Okay. So moving on to kind of a day in the life of this class. It's our goal, to deliver a rigorous and challenging curriculum in a fair and reasonable way. All right. So there's obviously more structure this year than there was last year. For example, the mandatory attendance. And, we get it. We understand that students will be and, are probably already just inundated and swamped with emails, attachments, apps, reminders, all those things. And so we're going to try to keep that in mind as we conduct this class. We'll try to keep it as streamlined as possible. So Again, just going back to a day in the life of the class, students they'll log on to their Google site, and they'll open up this Google Classroom site, and that'll kind of give them the directions as to what's happening for that day, and they'll join the Zoom link, okay, for every class, and it's going to be the same Zoom link just to kind of make it easy there. And there'll be a Google Doc that they open up, and on the very top of the Google Doc, there's a daily agenda. And typically, what a class will look like is as follows. They'll have a warm-up, could be a worksheet, could be a video, could be current event analysis, and they'll start to work on that for a good 10, 15 minutes. After that, we'll typically go to a lecture, okay, and we'll have a discussion about the topic at hand, and they'll answer questions based on the lecture. And then we'll kind of wrap things up, at least that portion of the lesson plan up with reviewing the warm-up, okay, which typically covers various aspects of what we've just discussed in the lecture. So it all kind of ties in nicely. If we have time, we'll go into another assignment. Again, it could be a worksheet, could be another video analysis, and the work will most likely all be able to be answered on the Google Doc that I provided, or a lot of students open up their own Google Doc form. So again, what I'm looking to do is just streamline the class and have them just turn in one document per class. Okay, and we'll also do our best to schedule a break or two during the class period just to kind of break things up a little bit. So here's a kind of a screenshot of what they would see when they open up the Google class, and on this particular date, they'll have these instructions. So using the attachments provided, please fill in this Google Doc and jump onto Zoom with this link. Okay, so that's kind of a screenshot of what they see. As far as the grading policy goes, final grades are based on the total number of points earned by each student, divided by the total number of points possible. Okay, so anywhere from 90% to 100%, that's an A, 80% to 89% is a B, and so on and so forth. And generally, grades will be updated in Infinite Campus on a weekly basis. Okay, this class is mostly run in a synchronous fashion. Okay, meaning that it's in real time. All right, but all the items that a student would need to complete the assignment will be included on that day's Google page. So if they happen, for example, to miss a class, they could just jump onto whatever date they missed, and all the info that they need to complete the work will be right there, including links on YouTube to the videos and so on and so forth, and notes and all that stuff. As far as supports go, we obviously give support during the class period, and I have an instructional assistant who works with me that can help students out. And one of the cool things about Zoom is that we can actually add breakout rooms. So we'd have like the main Zoom class, but then we can create a breakout room where an instructional assistant can maybe go with one other student or maybe 2 or 3 students to work more specifically on any given assignment. And again, there's the online flex learning time from 1:40 to 3:30 p.m., which meets pretty much every day, with the possible exception of Wednesday. And when I say meets, basically, I'm there, on my computer, monitoring my emails in case any students have any questions. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. So again, if you have any questions, you can always send me an email. Let me just scroll back up here. Okay, so once again, it's adelini@heartdistrict.org. And thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you're enjoying the virtual back-to-school night. Thank you so much. Bye.